In today's guide, we are going in depth on all the ins and outs of playing with teammates in Warzone, and we're going to do that while actually breaking down a recent high kill win that I had while playing with randoms. Now, jumping in here immediately with two very important things. First and foremost, we are in quads here, but in typical randoms fashion, our fourth teammate backed out. So we're playing trio quads at this point. That means our loadout is a little bit cheaper. It's only 12,500, and our resurgence timer is going to be a little bit quicker. Now, the second thing is, if you are subscribed, you know that I live at control early game. I love landing there. But in this case, my teammate here pinged headquarters. Okay, I'm okay landing headquarters as well. This is where it's good to know different parts of the map. So I'm just going to go ahead and land with him. I'm not going to try to ping control and try to overrule him. No, let's just go ahead and land headquarters as a squad. Whether you are playing with randoms or, you are playing with normal teammates, your friends or whatever it may be, you want to land as a squad and try to get off to a good start. Now, as always, guys, a good start means a bunch of kills or loadout. Obviously playing with randoms here, that cash flow dynamic can be tough at times. We're going to revisit that here in a little bit. But for now, I think one of the most important things to understand, guys, is to a certain extent, whether you're playing with your squad or playing with randoms, you've got to worry about your own game. Yes, we want to be aware of what's happening with our teammates and the gunfights that they're in and whether they're alive or not. But for the most part, guys, I am worrying about my own game. What is happening around me? What information am I seeing? I see this guy straight ahead of me. I'm going to go ahead and challenge. And you can see that my teammates are kind of in the mix back behind me here. A lot of action around us. We got a full team here in headquarters. Now, I am going to push in here, partially because of that team dynamic and partially because this is a great opportunity for me to get kills. So that wasn't a planned trade there where he was kind of, pushing up and I covered for him, but it just kind of happened that way. Now, one back behind me here, there's an enemy right there. We got to immediately challenge around the corner here with the BP-50, and this is that individual execution. This is where, I would challenge a lot of you guys to continue improving, continue your aim, continue working on your aim, continue that decision-making so that you're not as reliant on your teammates. A lot of you guys can't win a 1v1 fight, and that's why you're so reliant on your teammates, because if you do go into 1v1, you end up dying, and that's just something that you do need to improve on. Real quick, by the way, guys, if you are looking to get better at Rebirth Island, take a second, make sure you are subscribed down below. I'm a 5 KD player, and all of my content is solely based on helping you improve. As you see here, we're already off to a 4-kill start. Easy 20-kill pacing early game here, guys, especially in quads. 4 kills in the first, 4 kills in the second, 6 kills in the third, 6 kills in endgame. Unfortunately, just missed that jump spot. Can't quite get the down here, so we're going to go ahead and then we mount up there once we finally get it with the BP-50 to make sure we take out that enemy. Nobody really around us. So at this moment here, we've got an interesting situation. Obviously, we're in the blender a little bit. We're not really on good pacing to get a loadout. Remember, guys, loadout, because we're in trio quads, costs $12,500. Bounty is still up, so bounty did not get poached. That's a great way to get your cash flow early, but unfortunately did not get poached or anything. So we're in a little bit of a tough spot, but I'm not going to buy my guns just yet. The other important thing that I do want to highlight here is biometric scanners. Biometric scanners, guys, if you are not using them, if you're subscribed, I continue to tell you this, are one of the most beneficial things that you can use in this game to be able to regain, okay? I do not burn my biometric scanner early because I want to save it for when I desperately need it. When I don't have a loadout, I don't have loadout guns, I don't have a free loadout, and that's my last resort. So, I'm going to save that for when I absolutely need it. Now, we're still kind of working around here. Now I go ahead and I'm going to buy that Superi, right? It's not an ideal situation. We're not near loadout where none of us are really close together at this point, and this is where at this moment, guys, especially being a better player, I'm very focused on my game. Now, when it comes to playing my game, the one thing I have to be aware of is am I last alive, okay? And whether you're playing with a squad or playing with randoms, that is the most important thing. If you are playing with a squad, somebody needs to be commenting, hey, last alive, last alive. This way they're aware and they kind of make the decision based off of that. Too many times somebody doesn't know they're last alive and they push and they lose that 1v1, and that's why you guys end up wiping. It's a brutal way to lose your PR because you just didn't come to your teammate that they're last alive. Little live ping here. By the way, I've got the MTZ 556 floor loot. I am on radar with the Cassis break. It's just something I need to be aware of. But at this point, guys, I'm zooming. I'm in a really good spot until that happens. So a little bit of an unfortunate situation. I should add, guys, that I did not have comms with my teammates. I don't have comms. I don't trust people on the mics, especially being a content creator. Unfortunately, that's the way the COD community is. But obviously, if you have comms with your squads, that does actually help. Now, I hear one down below here, which is why I'm hesitant to push. Obviously, teammate with a nice little trade there, and I'm going to go ahead and be able to get this kill. Just like that, guys, we're back in. One on my level here that I've got to keep in mind, that they also have to keep in mind here. You know, I think the important thing to also understand is just be really careful about mini-map pings, right? So he gets that kill. Obviously, I don't get any mini-map pings until I get this kill right here. So as a squad, right, if you have comms with your teammates, you're like, yeah, you want to be calming a little bit about where people are. And of course, I'm not going to address the whole stacking dynamic, guys. I know it's a hot topic. It's, you know, a lot of people feel some type of way about it. I feel some type of way about it. But at the end of the day, it is a team game, and it's part of it. We're just going to go ahead. Once again, we're going to clear through here. Now, in this moment, what do we notice here? Okay, and this is where because you are watching my videos, okay, I will put this on you, and maybe you want to share this with your teammates as well. But in this moment, what I notice is cash flow awareness, right? As a squad, we are pretty close to loadout. Now, me personally, I'm in a good spot. Like, I've got my Superi, I've got a really good floor loot MTZ 556, I've got 9 kills already, I've got Mountaineer, I've got Tempered. I would like to have double time, but like, not a necessity. I'm in a good position. But hey, let's get this loadout down if possible. Now, we still need $1,000, but the minimum stack is 500. So there's a stack right there. Okay, I'm at 11,900. Right? There's a stack right there. I'm at 12,400. There's a stack right there. As soon as we go back and I think I gotta go back and loot this guy. But there we go. We're at 13,700. Now, this is where you guys have to take charge. Okay, you need to be the one in this moment, whether it's for a loadout, whether it's for a UAV, whether it's for a portable radar, something to help you guys. You need to be the ones that say, drop your cash. Like, I need your cash. I am going to the buy station to do this. You cannot trust that they recognize the amount of cash flow you have as well. You know, and I'm going to request here. I notice it. And notice what I just grabbed right there, right? So I grabbed that Car 98. Yep, now I start requesting cash. Like, hey, give me your cash and do what you have to do, guys. You're going to see me it's going to take some time. Like, this is where playing with randoms can be a little bit tougher. I do, by the way, have a Discord of 20,000 people. So if you are looking for teammates, guys, Discord link is in the pinned comment. You can absolutely join to try to find teammates. I have ranked NA, EU, APAC regions. Like, we've separated into a lot of different regions. But I'm doing whatever I possibly can here to get this cash so that I can go ahead and grab loadout for us. Okay, let's go ahead and grab loadout. Now, at this point, the decision is yours, right? Like, hey, me personally, look what I got. I got a car with high grain. I got my Superi. You know, I've got a sleight of hand, Mountaineer, Tempered, and High Alert. Is it ideal? Is it the perk package that I would go with? No, I wish I had quick fix and double time, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's a great perk package, and I'm going to leave this loadout up for regain. I want you to remember the fact that we have 1 and 2 right now at the moment here. We have 2 loadouts up, which when it comes to regaining, guys, the more you can keep loadouts up, the better off you're going to be. A lot of times, a lot of you struggle with that regain component as a squad because all of you guys hit the loadout and then it disappears, at which point there's not a whole lot you can do. Right now, you guys are in the blender. Watch this. Ready? I missed the first one. Immediately take the second one. Dead. And just like that, guys, we're in a really good spot here. Once again, having that cash flow awareness to, hey, I don't know where anybody is at the moment. Let me go ahead. Let me grab this portable radar, and I've got to figure it out. Now, in this moment, I can act on this. I could absolutely act on this, or I can act on this. Totally up to you guys. At the end of the day, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and push into prison. You know, they're actually going to push down to Nova 6, and we're going to split a little bit. You know, this is where, again, as you become a better player, like, this is something you should start to think about for 2 reasons. Number one, a little bit less likely to get wiped. You've got to be very aware of that timing component. If my teammate goes down right here, you know, I've got to be aware of what is happening with my teammate Curious at the moment, because if he goes down, I'm last alive. I've got to be very aware of that. This guy gets his camera broken. Pretty easy kill right there. And by the way, notice that our one teammate is just about back here. Now, in this moment, you know, I'm trying to find a perk package that has double time. It's just something that I feel very passionate's not the right word, but I just love double time. I think it makes movement more fluid. But most importantly, as I'm grabbing it, notice that little high alert ping I just got right there. So I know somebody's back behind me. Portable radar, let's go ahead and throw that down and see what we can find. I see the guy straight back. And the biggest thing here, guys, is like, you know, I'm comfortable fighting by myself. So they've got to be aware that they're by themselves or they're together as a 2-stack. I've got to be aware that I'm by myself, and that guy just hit a really good shot right there. I mean, just a really good shot with the Car 98. He played the head glitch really well. Obviously, you're going to see him reposition just a, actually, I went through it. Reposition just a little bit, played a slightly different angle than where I expected. Really good shot with the Car 98, but let's go ahead and regain. Now, I make a pretty bad mistake here. First things first. Let me talk about the bad miss. Let me pull this back for a second. After, I want you to think about it. Okay, you're going, Joe. You hit loadout. Okay, I hit loadout. Here's the thought process. Number one, flying back in, be a good teammate. What does it mean to be a good teammate? It means I probably should have pulled my parachute a little bit quicker to give myself a little bit more height. But what I'm trying to do, guys, is live ping. Okay, so I'm trying to see, I know that the guy was technically speaking, he was back here. I'm not 100% sure where. I'm just looking for movement on the rooftop here. Finally, I'm able to see him right here. I get the live ping from my teammates, and you can kind of see that they're starting to push here, right? So that live ping is going to give them that initial piece of information. And in an ideal world, they can challenge around this corner. They can get this kill right here, at which point they get the mini-map pings about where the other teammates are, and they can kind of keep that momentum going, right? And where does that all begin? That all begins from one live ping. That's an ideal situation. Doesn't always work out like that. Don't overfly in here. Don't over, you have 2.5 seconds of spawn protection. Now, the mistake that I make here is I should have grabbed this loadout. Okay, why should I have grabbed this loadout? Because this one's out of circle. This one gets me back into the action a little bit quicker, but this one would last another circle here. And keep in mind, I have not hit this yet because I went off and I was using the car that I picked up, the Superior that I bought, and the perk package that I found. So I probably should have hit this loadout right here. And then from there, this would have lasted another circle. Go back to what I said. When it comes to regaining, the longer we can keep loadouts on the map, the better off we're going to be. Notice right there, because I finally hit it, that it disappeared. Now, all of a sudden, we don't really have a regain besides our biometric scanner regain here. Enemies up above, once again, just split here, right? So we see that my teammates are obviously prison. I could have pushed that direction, ultimately decided to act on this information right here. Let's go ahead. We get the down and thirst. Hey, and when it comes down to it, guys, once again, this is Car 98 zone right now. We're in a position where you've got to be very careful of what's happening. Unfortunate right here. You can't really see it because of my camera, but if you look at the attackers, I took 286 damage from a Car 98. So I got sniped from Narnia. I have no idea where. It technically gave the guy that was in front of me the kill, but he did 14 damage. Unfortunate. It is what it is, guys. Not much I can do. Let's go ahead and push back in. Now, this play is a very aggressive play, and it was probably a mistake. Hindsight being 2020, and by the way, we got the respawn timer. So, understand that I've got to wait for them to get back. Look, it's going to happen that you get wiped. And I think while I'm waiting for myself to fly back in here, one of the most important things, guys, is the game's on you, right? And this is where you have to take accountability for your own actions. Your teammate might lose a 1v1 and you can blame him all you want, but at the end of the day, you were dead. You were the one that was dead, right? You weren't alive. So take accountability and start to learn, how to take those 1v1 fights, how to fight outnumbered, how to challenge. I don't know why I made this play. I don't know what my thought process was. I get away with it, but if you are subscribed, I talk about this a lot. There are certain situations where I should not have gotten away with this in this moment. It was just way over aggressive. It ended up being okay because I didn't grab a perk package, but I got the car, I got the Superi. I obviously have tempered. I'm in an okay spot now, but just it's a high risk, low reward situation, especially with that biometric scanner regain. What do you notice right here? Okay, so the biggest thing when you are playing as a squad is the sound, okay? Ready? 3, 2. When I hear that full kill, okay, I've got to pay attention to down here. Right? I've got to pay attention to down here and know that in this moment, I am last alive. Okay? So we've got to know that we're last alive. And you're going to see me hesitate. Now, I only need to hesitate until this teammate is back. Okay? Once this teammate is back, it is his responsibility to get this guy back. Okay? So I'm in the mix at the moment. It is his responsibility to play strategic to be able to get Curious back right here. So that's just an important note as you kind of flip, right? So my job is to get teammate number 2 back, and then it is his job here to be able to get Curious back. And that's just one thing to keep in mind when it comes to kind of that team dynamic and that team responsibility. Again, guys, just fighting outnumbered, learning how to do this, learning how to get, and one thing I will say, guys, is I know I briefly mentioned you're less likely to get wiped if you're split. You're also more likely to get kills. If you and your squad are in 30, if you're in 30 engagements by yourself and you go 28 and 2, you drop 28 kills. If you and your squad are in 30 kills, 30 engagements, then you're going to split them all the way around, right? You might have 15, your teammate might have 10, like it gets split up. So the more that you fight on your own, the better off you're going to be, the more kills you're going to get. You know, if my teammates are with me there, maybe I get 2, maybe I get 1. You know, you never know with how these, how COD and Warzone grants the kills. Like, it's very easy to steal kills at times. So right here, guys, one thing I do notice, and the mistake that I make here, by the way, in terms of my teammate dynamic, is I should live ping more. Especially having this overhead view. Like, I should have live pinged this guy for my teammate just so that he's aware, right? Going back to what I said, when we have that live ping, it is the best. Actually, pause, because I think this is important. Live pinging, guys, is the #1 way to communicate with your teammates. Reason being is I could say 1 above you, I could say 1 right below you, 1 to your right side, 1 on Harbor Rooftop. There's still that dynamic of, like, I am not 100% sure what that means, right? I could say 1 top Nova 6, like, it doesn't exactly tell him where. A live ping tells you exactly where that enemy is. So the more you can live ping to people and use that to communicate, the better off you're going to be. It's much clearer when you are live pinging, right? Like there, it got obviously live pinged, and I'm just missing shots with this sniper, guys. I'm just not executing very well. 1 flying in on me. So, you know, I just got to win that 1v1 fight. I got to make a play. Notice that our 1 teammate's dead. So, you know, pretty long time on the resurgence timer. But I know I have Curious to my right side here, and we're in a pretty good spot. You know, 19 kills. We're about to, you know, just break that 20 mark. But now we start to focus on that win. Now, when we talk about the winning dynamic, guys, this is where, regardless of your feeling about stacking and playing as a squad, like, at the end of the day, when respawn disables, we focus on that win. And when we are playing as a squad, whether it's with your teammate, I should have live pinged here, by the way. First of all, I'm just all over the place with the Car 98. Like, I don't know what, it's not my Car 98, so I don't know 100% know what the build is, but I was all over the place. But guys, once you get to respawn disabled, no matter if you're playing separated or what, we start to focus on that winning dynamic. You know, if you are subscribed, in circle with cover, then power position. So I'm in a really good spot right here. I'm not really interested in giving up top prison right now. Call it camping, call it positioning, call it whatever you want it, but I'm in circle. I've got plenty of cover here because of the high ground. I know I've got to challenge this guy backside, and we finally hit the snipe. Boom. By the way, notice that's kill number 20 right there. I've got Curious back behind me, but unfortunately, our 1 teammate is full dead at this point. So the thought has to be, like, how are we going to get him back? I'm not going to oversell to get him back. I do want to be a little bit strategic. I want to make sure I'm in an okay spot. You know, I know that I need to play my positioning here. We got to put ourselves in a good position for this end game, but we also kind of need to get him back. I'm not just going to let him, I'm not going to oversell for it, but I know the moment is there. Now, what really kind of throws everything off, and by the way, notice I switched the MTZ556, just something I feel much more comfortable with. Best weapons, guys, ggs.ai. Make sure you guys check that out. Best weapons and the best builds. Best weapons and the best builds. So now we're just going to commit to low ground here. This is a great example, guys, when I say in circle with cover, then power position. You know, in this moment, we don't have power position. We don't have top rooftop of prison. But at the end of the day, we're low ground here, which means we buy ourselves time for the next circle. I think that's one of the most important things for end games is, hey, sometimes we just need to wait till the next circle. Let's see what the next circle does and then make a decision from there. Obviously, keeping an eye on our yellow teammate right here where he's at, back behind us. And then I'm going to make a little bit of a decision. This is a tough one right here. I decided with $7,800 cash flow awareness, guys. We're in a pretty good spot here. We got good cash flow for this end game. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go portable radar, self-revive. This is where I kind of have to worry about myself a little bit in this moment and kind of play my own game, especially being a better player and having confidence. I play solo quads all the time. So, you know, I have confidence that I can clutch games if needed. But, you know, yeah, in this sense, I have randoms with me. I'm going to use them to my advantage. Enemies above. Biggest thing I notice here is they have to jump, okay? So watch how we play this here. We do have to rotate, right? We kind of have to get to this awkward spot right here, which, by the way, in circle with cover, then power position, there's not much cover up here, so we're going to have to be careful about our rotation. But the first thing that I want to think about is, hey, I can easily hold these enemies, okay? I can easily hold these enemies out of circle basically, we just have to wait. This is what I call a no down situation. If I go down, or notice Curious is kind of slightly with me, if one of us goes down, it really puts us in a tough spot, because then we got to think about, are we reviving or are we not reviving? Portable radar again, because I kind of want to see where they're at, right? I want to watch them. I want to know which side they're jumping from. There's one right there. Enemy down. Didn't get the full though. One to the right side here. Good shots with the MTZ. Okay. Bunch of people to my right side here, and look at which way, look at where my teammates are. My teammates are right here with me, right? They're actually in a good spot. Actually, we do have cover here because of this info strike early game. Kind of gave us some cover out here in the middle. So without that, we're in a really tough spot. But we're just going to kind of keep playing over this way. And unfortunately, in this moment, Curious is going to end up going down. So Curious ends up going down. Teammate number 2, I don't even know what you want to call him. Ooh, I'm going to call him Ooh. We're this far into it, and I'm finally calling him Ooh. So we got Ooh over here. Notice the cash flow here. A little bit of a tough decision. This is where I say don't oversell for the buyback. You know, by the way, look at this right here. This is important to note, okay? So, you know, obviously in this moment, guys, we are one team, 2 people. So this is 2 teams, right? And it's 4 people left. But this 4 people could be a 2 and 2, or it could be a 1 and 3. Right? We have no idea. So we just got to really be prepared for that, and kind of handle each situation accordingly, that we have no idea what the breakdown actually is. I think that might have been hidden behind my camera, but so Ooh here is actually going to make a decision. Look at our rotation to the left side here. He's going to go ahead and go for the buyback. Little bit aggressive, but you know what? That's the decision that he made. That's perfectly okay. Here's the one thing that I will tell you guys. The one thing I will tell you is, if you are Ooh right here, be very careful about, actually, let's go this way. Remember that Curious here, okay? Curious is going to fly back in with nada, right? He's got nothing. He's got no plates. He's got no ammo. He's got no lethal tactical, no perks. He's got the gun that he's flying back in. Ooh here is going to have potentially loadout guns, loadout perk package, you know, plates, ammo, like he's in a really good spot, gas mask. So the one thing you don't want to do is trade your life for somebody who has nothing. So just be very careful about that when making that decision. Don't trade your life for somebody who has nothing. But we're in a pretty good spot here. Obviously, we have this circle pull. I see these enemies. Again, live ping, crystal clear. Down right there. Can't quite get the thirst. I see this guy on my left side. Here comes Ooh right back in. Down. Thirsted. Notice he's going to push in right there. And just like this, as I get this kill around the corner on this guy in the heli, immediately the first thing I noticed here is a 1v3 situation. I'm just going to give you some insight here. Guys, he's not up top here with us, which means he has to be down low somewhere. He has to be in. Now, my guess is, based on the rotation, I immediately guess that he's down below. Quick confirmation right here based on a little bit of audio. Just I hear the surface down below. I know he's not on the rooftop here. So just quick process of elimination. Does end up making a really good play right here. But we're just going to go ahead and put the pressure on. And look, at the end of the day, I'm going to go get this kill for myself. And guys, that's a 26 kill game right there. A 26 kill game. I believe we dropped 40 as a squad. Fighting together sometimes, other times, you know, not fighting together. Yeah, 40 as a squad there. So sometimes fighting together, sometimes not. Ultimately played as a squad there to clutch up the end game. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.